Chris's grades are so bad that Peter and Lois start worrying about his future. When Chris hears that his parents think he isn't smart, he immediately wants to prove he isn't useless. They let Chris choose his own summer camp, and he picks NASA Space Camp right away. But once he gets to training, he quickly realizes this is nothing like regular fun and games. Everyone else can handle the lessons and equipment, but he keeps falling behind. He wanted to use Space Camp to prove himself, but reality knocks him back down from the very first step. Chris eventually has no choice but to call his parents to pick him up. When Peter and Lois arrive at NASA, Chris is already standing at the camp waiting for them. When the Griffins arrive at NASA to pick up Chris, he takes them on a tour of the space shuttle.
Negative reinforcement, that's the key. Right, stupid? I'll do better!
They only mean to step inside for a quick look, but Stewie starts pressing buttons, and the shuttle launches straight into space. The whole family gets trapped in orbit, and Chris thinks the whole disaster is his fault. Mission Control manages to contact them for a moment, but Peter messes with the radio and ruins their chance to get help. The shuttle starts spinning out of control, so they have to try landing it themselves. Chris remembers what he learned at Space Camp, stabilizes the speed, and lets the autopilot take over again. As the shuttle races back toward Earth, everyone grips their seats and waits for impact. The shuttle finally lands safely, and Chris walks out of the hatch with his family. Joe sees the news at the bar and finally learns that Bobby Briggs, the man who left him paralyzed, has been caught. That's when he tells Peter and Quagmire that Bobby shot him at close range while he was undercover. Joe thinks his 15-year nightmare is finally over, but Bobby soon escapes from the police again.
Escapo, escapo, escapo!
He immediately goes to the chief and asks to handle the case himself, but gets refused for being too close to it. Peter can't just watch, so he brings Quagmire along to help Joe chase Bobby on their own. The three of them first track down Bobby's former woman, then follow the trail to his place. Joe finally comes face to face with Bobby, but Bobby breaks away and runs up to the roof. Joe chases after him with everything he has, but still has to watch Bobby disappear again. After Joe loses Bobby, two cops arrest him on the spot instead. But he quickly realizes they aren't there to solve the case, they are dirty cops who helped Bobby hide years ago. Quagmire uses the chance to unlock the cuffs, and the three of them steal the police car to keep investigating.
Are you guys cops? They know we're not cops!
Peter finds a number in Bobby's place, and Joe realizes it has a border area code. They rush to El Paso, ready to stop Bobby before he can escape into Mexico. When Bobby finally shows up, Joe chases him all the way into the river and pins him down at gunpoint. He doesn't kill him right away, and only shoots Bobby in the leg, but the shot hits an artery, and Bobby quickly collapses by the river. Quagmire kicks the body into the water, and the three of them return to Quahog covered in blood. On Lois's birthday, Peter crushes her in front of everyone with a terrible poem. She is already afraid of getting older, so she immediately rushes off to reinvent herself. She changes her hair, buys new clothes, and starts partying with younger girls. At first, Peter thinks it feels new, and even enjoys how bold she suddenly becomes. But after a few rounds of chaos, that lifestyle quickly pushes him to the breaking point. Then Lois somehow sneaks into a Justin Bieber concert, and even tries to rush backstage.
I'm gonna go get our old mom back. Brian, keys. Fresh beer. Egg ugly.
Peter hurries in to stop her, but Lois asks who made her feel old in the first place. Peter can only apologize on the spot, and admit that what he really wants is the old Lois. Lois stops pretending to be young, while Peter gets shoved on stage to finish the show for Bieber. Stewie brings a turtle home from the park pond, and names it Sheldon. He thinks he just got a quiet little pet, but strange accidents soon start happening around the house. Every time danger appears, Sheldon happens to be right nearby. Stewie starts to suspect it isn't a coincidence, and finally catches the turtle getting revenge in the middle of the night. He immediately flushes Sheldon down the toilet, thinking the crisis is over. But Sheldon crawls back home through the sewer and keeps looking for chances to get close to him. Even worse, Stewie finds Rupert's head placed inside a box. Sheldon then charges into the room and fights him head on. Just when Stewie is about to lose, Mario suddenly jumps out and stomps the turtle. Meg stares at Kent in the school cafeteria, imagining she has finally found true love. In reality, she is too nervous to even speak, and can only tell her friends she has no chance. But her crush keeps spiraling out of control, and she even daydreams while walking, causing Adam West to crash his car. Meg finally works up the courage to ask Kent out, and Kent actually agrees to come over. Once the date starts, she thinks she finally has a chance to turn things around. But after Kent walks in, he talks much more naturally with Chris, leaving Meg pushed to the side. When she tries to kiss Kent, he says he never saw this as a date at all. Kent then reveals the real reason. The person he likes isn't Meg, but her brother Chris. Meg sits there and watches Kent turn all his attention to Chris. After Meg fails to get Kent, she decides to push Chris toward him. She isn't trying to give up, but wants to use Chris as a way to stay close to Kent. Meg first begs Chris to play along, but Chris completely refuses the idea. She refuses to stop and even prepares to set up a fake situation to make Kent think Chris has already agreed. But the childhood photo in Chris's room makes Meg soften at the last second. She stops herself from taking the most dangerous step, but forgets to stop Kent, who is already on his way. Kent walks into Chris's room in the middle of the night, while Chris has no idea what is happening. Chris calls Meg in to confront her on the spot, and Kent realizes he has been tricked too. Meg can only admit everything. Kent turns and leaves, and Chris stands in the room staring at her. While telling a Christmas story, Peter directly casts himself as Joseph. As soon as Joseph meets Mary, he starts trying every way he can to get close to her. But Mary keeps refusing to go any further, and he has no idea why. Then an angel suddenly appears and tells him that Mary's baby comes from God. Joseph is stunned at first, but still decides to go with Mary to Bethlehem to register. The two of them make it all the way to an inn, but the owner refuses to give them a room. They are only allowed to stay in the stable, surrounded by hay and animals. Mary gives birth to the baby in the stable, while the shepherds and the 3 wise men arrive one after another. After the angel brings back the name, Joseph and Mary sit in the stable, holding Jesus.
Hey, what's this? Hey, you guys, this says a king of kings will be born in Bethlehem.
The 3 wise men cross the desert looking for the Savior, but first end up at Herod's palace asking for water. When Herod hears a new king is about to be born, he immediately worries his throne will be taken.
No, I'm not. When a guy who feels threatened makes sure all his advisors are short of...
Ah, you said it, King.
That's telling him. Big guy!
He pretends to let them keep going, then turns around and leads his army straight to the stable. Then Jesus suddenly fights back and turns the manger into a fighter jet. As soon as Herod's army surrounds them, the firepower from above sends the soldiers running everywhere. The soldiers retreat in chaos, and before Herod can even touch the child, his plan fails on the spot.